Hello, welcome. I'm Elizibar. This is a look at Batman 3 Jokers. Now, this is coming in like, what, 6 months late or something since the last one came out? Like, it's been a while. And this book, I was starting to think I was never actually going to read it. And it's because my first impression, when I first opened this up, I'm like, oh, that looks cool. And then it's like, do we really need to be told any of this stuff? Like, I'm pretty sure if somebody picks up a book called Batman 3 Jokers, they already know who Batman is, that his parents are dead, and that he gets beat up fighting crime a lot, and that he has a butler named Alfred that puts him back together. Those pages don't serve any purpose. They're not a good introduction into the character. They're not really a good setup for what's going on. And so I read those, I put the book down, and I didn't look back. Not until this weekend, and it just happened that I had books stacked up right here, and this one was on top. So I was, actually not this past weekend, it was the weekend before, so I was playing Ark with Six of Cyrus on Twitch, and I was waiting on the dinosaur to get tamed, and I just picked up the book and started reading. And I made it through this, and halfway through book 2 by the time we were done. So that's my story about reading this book. Now, the art is really nice. If you couldn't tell from the little bit I showed, like, all this art in this book is gorgeous. This Jason Fabok art, 2 thumbs up. If I had, like, additional hands, like I had another pair, maybe I'd be like 4 thumbs up. The book is gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous from start to finish. No complaints about the art. I'm sure if I really wanted to, I could, like, start coming in here and, like, being like, oh, well, these panel layouts kind of sucked. But who cares? We have a giant Jokerized shark eating the Joker's old sidekick. Like, what more do you want in your life than that? Now, the premise of the story is you have the Joker, and the Joker out there using Joker toxin. Actually, it's the chemicals from the Axis Chemicals plant to make more Jokers. So it turns out that one of these Jokers is the original Joker, and he made additional Jokers, and now the additional Jokers are also making additional Jokers. Look, just accept this as the premise, okay? Just accept it as the premise. So that's why in way back, what was that? Was it Final Crisis? Where Batman and the Mobius chair, and he learned that there were 3 Jokers. Like, this is the payoff for that setup from 10 years ago. And ultimately, I'm not sure that this payoff really paid off. Let me just crack this open so we can look at, like, some art here. And then it's not going to want to stay flat. Square binding for no reason. Book won't stay flat. That's one thing about staple bound, man. Books will stay flat. So you can see, like, all the Jokerized people here. Yeah. So, stuff happens. Batman's investigating. Batgirl and Red Hood are helping him out. You can kind of see some of the Joker's victims here wearing his original Red Hood get-up. The original that, Jason Todd stole when he became the Red Hood. And that's also a plot point that gets brought up. Like, why is he taking over one of the Joker's old identities and stuff like that? Ultimately, this is a story about the protagonists achieving, is catharsis the right word? They're getting closure, at least a little measure of it. So you have Jason Todd, beat to death by a crowbar, came back to life because Superboy Prime punched the universe really hard. Barbara Gordon shot in the back, or shot through the back by the Joker. In fact, there's a picture in here somewhere. I'm scrolling through, yeah, that harkens back to that. Like, we are definitely reminded about all the pain that these characters have suffered. So this is a struggle. They're fighting the Joker, yes. Like, he is obviously the villain. There's no doubt about that. But while they're fighting the Joker, they're really struggling with their internal stuff. So the external conflict is actually a measure of their internal conflict. It's a way for them to check themselves for them to grow and progress and struggle until they can achieve the psychological closure and healing that they need from the trauma that's been inflicted on them. And from that perspective, I wish this had just been a 6-issue run in the real Batman comics so that this would be straight up canonical. These characters are damaged people. They're hurt. They have some major issues. And they should, be allowed to achieve some measure of... I'm just looking for something cool to show you. No. Oh, maybe missing with all the fire. Because all the fire was really cool. Wait. Oh, this is book 2, not book 3. Well, I guess there's no fire. But I can show you, this was really cool because some of the Jokerized victims here, man, they just straight up look like zombies. It's awesome. So the heroes go through, they're investigating this stuff. The dialogue felt a little clunky. I can't point to a specific example of where it felt clunky, but there's just sections in here that are just kind of it doesn't flow smoothly. I guess a lot of it is Bruce is just speaking in a very stilted kind of fashion to other people. Let's see. I was just seeing if there was something cool back here I could show you. Oh yeah, here's some more Jokerized victims as they're fighting them. Look at him using a gun, shooting people. That's actually a plot point that comes up, is him shooting people with his gun. And how he does something in this. And Barbara wants to turn him in. She's like, look, we can't just let him go around shooting people. And Bruce is like, if we turn him in, you will have to unmask yourself to testify. He'll be unmasked. It'll be a big mess for all of us. So Bruce, the ultimate hero guy, is kind of a coward. That's kind of what that comes off as, is some straight up moral cowardice on the part of Bruce Wayne, which feels really weird. So I really liked the journey that the Red Hood went on. I really liked the journey that Batgirl went on in this story. But Bruce, actually, despite the fact that his name is on the book, he actually feels kind of like a secondary character, which is a weird statement. It's a Batman book. Shouldn't Batman be up in the fore? I don't know. I'm glad I read this. I had a lot of fun reading it. I think it would have been better as a real story that future authors could build on, because all the Bat people, they need to get some of that psychological closure done. Man, Joe Chill shows up in this too. We are definitely pulling all the skeletons out of the closet and looking at them, even if we're not directly addressing all the issues with them. So each of the Bat people is mirrored by one of the Jokers, and there's a lot of symmetries and similarities because of that. And everybody at the end kind of has some of their stuff addressed, which was pretty good. Very slick books. The pacing felt just about right. It's just some of the dialogue I didn't necessarily care for. But man, watching a short person get eaten by a Joker shark, that was pretty good. You all take care of yourselves. You have a great day. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Sure hope to see you again next time. Till then, bye-bye.